in Bennett to get ready with local shopping. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of Christmas trees in all different colors. Plus, many other fall and winter holiday items and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com. Or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Beecham from Brand Lincoln Podcast and Perch Merch, your go-to in Lincoln for printing and promotional needs. Speaking of that, we are running a huge hoodie sale now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off everything from Nike and Bella Canvas pullovers to Gildan and Port & Company sweatshirts and district fleeces. Get yours for your group or organization today by calling us at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome everybody in to a Friday edition of the Adam Carriker Show. I'm just going to be honest with you. We got a lot to get to you. So we're going to dispense with the pleasantries and we're going to light this candle right off the bat. And the first thing I want to know the answer to, when is it okay to start playing Christmas music and put up Christmas decorations? Now, when I was a kid, it was after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. They'd start playing Christmas movies on TV. We'd start watching them. Usually Elf was the first one we'd watch, not when I was a kid. But as I got older, Elf became the movie my kids wanted to watch. Then all of a sudden, it kind of crept into before Thanksgiving. I saw some freaking Christmas decorations before Halloween. That is just blasphemous, ladies and gentlemen. All right, my daughter, what prompted this? My daughter, Addie, was like, all her little siblings. She's my oldest daughter, 13 years old, second oldest kid. She has 4 younger siblings, 12-year-old sister, 2 twin sisters that are 9, and a 7-year-old. And they all wanted to start doing like Christmas like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or maybe they were before Halloween. I can't remember. And she came up with the rule that we could not start doing it in our house until November 15th. And I know we're past that date. But every day right now, I walk by this little blow up. We haven't gone into full Christmas decoration mode. That'll be next week probably. But that's the question I want to know. I want you to text in, when is it okay to start listening to Christmas music? When is it okay to start putting up Christmas decorations? Because right now in my house, there's one. All right, it's this. I hate Garfield. I just don't like Garfield. But it's this like blow up little kitten version of a Garfield with a Santa hat on. And I walk by this thing like 50 times a day. All right, this butt ugly little kitten version of Garfield. I actually don't hate the thing. I like kittens. I just don't like cats, and I don't like Garfield. But when is it okay? Jake, tell him the text line number. When is it okay to start listening to Christmas music and putting up Christmas decorations? What's that number in case the fine folks who don't know, Jake?
402-464-5685. I also want to know why you hate Garfield. I've never heard that.
Fat, lazy, not funny. I like lasagna, but that's all he wants to eat. I've never found him funny. And now my kids like him, and I'm like, great. So you're going to hate Mondays, which most people aren't a big fan of Mondays, unless it's a victory Monday, which I haven't been enough of lately. Hate Mondays, just want to eat, lay around, complain, lazy, fat, and I don't like cats. All right. I like kittens. I don't like cats. There's a difference there, so that probably doesn't help. All right. So at the end of every segment, it's Jake's responsibility to let me know what people are saying in. All right, so text in, let me know what people are saying, what they're telling us on that text line. When is it acceptable? November 15th. That is the self-imposed deadline in our house because that's what Addison decided, and we're rolling with that. It's kind of funny, Jake. It occurred to me yesterday, I'm winning this contest with Steve Sipple, and he doesn't even know the contest exists.
That's right. Yeah.
It's just me and him. Well, I know he listens to the show, so he might know it exists. And maybe he's in hiding. Maybe he doesn't want to come out. Or maybe he has no idea. But I'm winning this contest, whether he knows it or not. All right, the Carriker Trivia Challenge. I've won 60% of the battles. Sipple on the years, was it 55? I accounted for the other day, 55% winning percentage. Now, every time I win or lose, my winning percentage drops about 20 to 30% because we've only done it 5 times. But I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm winning this contest the Sipple doesn't even know about that he's losing to me. All right. I forgot to mention this yesterday. Went to the Outland Trophy semifinalist announcement ceremony in Omaha on Wednesday. It was pretty cool. There's 7 semifinalists. Now, for those who may or may not know exactly what the Outland Trophy is for, it's really to reward the best interior lineman, offense or defense, tackle to tackle. So you can be an offensive tackle, left tackle to right tackle, offensive guard, left to right guard, center, or a defensive tackle. Okay, and there were 7 semifinalists that were announced. At first, I was getting heated. I was getting upset because it was all O-linemen. It was 2 tackles, 2 guards, a center, and I'm looking at Greg Sharp. So Greg Sharp was there. It was good to see him. All right. Always curious to see how he's doing. He seems to be in good spirits. All right, he was there. All right, Bob Mancuso, who we had on the show on Wednesday, who votes on about 8 billion different postseason college football awards, was there. It was good to see him. Tom Chattel was there. Larry Jacobson. By the way, for those who somehow may not remember all of his accolades, let me just remind you, 2-time national champion, 70-71, Outland Trophy winner, all right, consensus All-American, first-team All-Conference, first-round draft pick by the New York Giants. Okay, one of the best to ever do it. And he was the first player from Nebraska to ever win the Outland Trophy. I believe we've had 8 over the years. All right, and he was the first one to ever do it. So they were all there, but I'm getting heated because, like, the first 5 guys are all linemen. And I'm just like, what is this? Offensive lineman. Like, what is this crap? Luckily, the last 2 guys were D-tackles. So I walked out of there with a smile on my face, Jake. I just want you to know that. All right, what are some of the responses? When is it acceptable to start Christmas decorations and or Christmas music listening to?
Railroader Matt says Big Black Friday is the earliest. Drew says I turned my outside lights on this week. Garage Jeff says Black Friday. 2021 says can't do Christmas before Thanksgiving. You can turn Christmas lights on Thanksgiving evening is when he says. Hammond Beans says snow. Wait for the snow, maybe.
Hammond Beans. I just like the name.
Yeah. There's
too much variance with snow, though, but go ahead.
Yeah. Cubs says decor December 1st, music December 13th, only allowed for 12 days.
Wow. The 12 days of Christmas? Is that the theory behind that?
I think
you're
so.
robbing I don't know how many kids you got or what the situation is there. You're robbing your kids, man. So I've always been a big, like, the day after Thanksgiving. Like, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. For anyone who knows me, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So I'd always get, like, defensive. No, you cannot start Christmas before. The more kids I got and the more younger kids and the more kids, period, the more I got outnumbered in my household. But it was always Black Friday. I love Thanksgiving. You got football, you got food, you got tradition. We have our backyard turkey bowl each and every year. It's 50-50 whether I'm gonna walk away from that thing hurt or not. We've had 10 of them. I've walked away from it unscathed 5 times. So we'll see what happens this year to see if I can stay over 50%. I tore my hamstring one year.
Oh, no.
That was actually the year I knew I was done with the NFL. All right. I'd been out for 2 years, and I was kind of like, all right, I'm feeling good. I had 11 surgeries, doing all right. The doctor looked at me, good buddy of mine, so he could be blunt. He goes, your knee absolutely sucks. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that and your lack of candor. But so I got this knee that sucks. 11 surgeries. And I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I could get back in. Go out and play flag football. This is a game that includes like 7-year-olds all the way up to 50-year-olds. I didn't tear the hamstring. I pulled it was gone. It was better in 2 weeks. So like it wasn't like a full out tear. I was like, all right, I'm done. Yep. Can't get through a backyard flag football game with 7 and 50-year-olds. I am officially done with the NFL. So for me, I've always been really protective of Thanksgiving. And to me, one of the other things that I love about Thanksgiving is the official holiday season starts for a lot of people with Halloween. For me, it starts with Thanksgiving because, boom, you're like literally right into Christmas. You're right into bowl games and back when bowl games mattered, conference championship games, and we're going to talk about if those even matter anymore at the end of this. I've got quotes today from Dion at the end of the show, or clips to play from Lane Kiffin, Josh Pate. It's a whole bunch of interesting stuff. That last 10 to 15 minutes is going to be loaded. Evan Bland's going to join me at about 12:30. I should shout him out as well. Tune in for that. He does a phenomenal job. All right. But I've always been very defensive of Thanksgiving. And now, last year was actually, I think, the first year we decorated on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And now the date's getting moved up to November 15th. And I got this butt ugly looking mini Garfield fat Santa-headed cat staring at me that's like this blow-up thing. I just want to unplug it all day. I actually don't hate it. Like I said, I actually like kittens. It looks like a kitten. All right, what are some of the other responses we're getting here?
Yeah, it seems to be a somewhat of a consensus that you do it, the day after Thanksgiving. Black Friday is the earliest. Garage Jeff said there.
They say that, but are you people actually living out your words? Do these people not have young children that are just giving you the puppy dog and little putty cat eyes and begging to put this stuff up? Are you actually living out your words? That's what I want to know, folks.
I had to go get my son. I went and got him an inflatable. He likes those inflatable. He chose this koala with a Santa hat on, so that's what we're doing. But
mine was Garfield. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I know you're not going to like this, but my wife actually is from the Philippines.
Ooh.
And what they pride themselves as having the longest Christmas celebration in the world. They start in September.
There's pluses and minuses. Now we can get into the too many college football playoff games devalues the regular season talk with Christmas if you want. But we'll save that topic for another day. I don't hate that. I want to learn more about that on another day.
Yeah.
We got a whole holiday season ahead. Apparently, we're starting before Thanksgiving with some of the Christmas talk here, but that's okay. All right. I got a bunch of random, interesting, I think they're interesting. Hopefully you find folks enjoy them, things to fire through. And then I want to get through some predictions for this weekend, including Nebraska versus Wisconsin, my biggest potential upset game to watch in the five top college football games of the weekend. But I saw this tweet from Bud Crawford, and I quote, "I think I can do 90,000 at Memorial Stadium. I think I'm going to go on and make history just to make some of y'all mad because y'all be hating. What's up at UNL Lincoln at Huskers?" End quote. Let's make it happen. I love the idea there. All right. $10.5 million, one out, Jake. Did you see this? Bryce Underwood, the number 1 recruit in the country, 5-star quarterback, flipped from LSU to good old Michigan. And it just so happens that the number 2 recruit in the country, 5-star quarterback, Tavion St. Clair, going to Ohio State. That could be interesting to watch down the road. See if we can't poach him. All right. Let's see what else we got here on the docket. Oh, my gosh. All right. Michigan State is so desperate that you can bring 2 friends for the game for this Friday. So here's what it says. As a thank you for your dedication and support of Michigan State football, you will be able to bring 2 friends for free to the game on Friday. Your student ID or student ticket scan at Gate B will be good for admission for you and 2 additional guests. Michigan State football doing really, really well. All right, what we got next here? Conference championships. You got any thoughts on that real quick, Jake?
Well, I know the game, like the get-in price on the secondary market's like $14. So depending on how expensive that ticket is.
Seems high.
You might be able to get 3 tickets for cheaper anyway.
I was going to say like 370, 380, whatever that is. I don't know. I'm not that good at math. All right. Think about this, because it's not all that far-fetched. Oregon could win the Big Ten. Texas could win the SEC. SMU could win the ACC, Colorado could win the Big 12, and Army could win the AAC. All very realistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those teams all have one thing in common. None of those teams were in these same conferences a year ago.
Wow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a couple more things, and we'll get into some predictions. Think about this now. The current temperatures at some point throughout this week in Ohio State, Columbus, Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame. By the way, if the college football playoff started this weekend, all right, Penn State would host Georgia. It's 35 degrees there this week. Ohio State was 32, but they're going to host BYU, so that's not that big a deal for the boys from Provo. Indiana would host Ole Miss, 32 degrees. Notre Dame and Alabama, all right, under touchdown Jesus in Indiana, South Bend, 30 degrees. I can't freaking wait, and I hope some of these matchups hold up. All right. Oh, my God. What do you think of Skip Bayless? Just give me a quick response, Jake. Just real quick.
A legend for what he's able to do, and is built for himself, but I don't take everything he says too seriously.
I've never been able to stand him. His outright disrespect for people who've actually played is absurd. And then the one time it was pointed out that he wasn't very good, he got so insanely sensitive about 8 or 9 years ago, made up some fabricated knee story. Oh, wait, that's Stephen A. Smith. But I digress. Do you know about the Stephen A. Smith lies in his book? People, just own your crap, okay? I've had 11 surgeries. I had ups. I had downs. I had good games. I had bad games. Just own your crap. We'll get into that another day. But Skip Bayless, I've never liked him. And I've always thought he needed a counterpart because he couldn't do it on his own. There's a reason he's not at Fox. He's not at ESPN. There's a reason he was on the airwaves and successful for decades as well. But his most recent take is the most, not Assa 7, Jake, say it with me, not Assa 8, the most asinine take I think I've ever seen of his. And I quote, "We are looking at the next Alabama dynasty," end quote. And in the picture, what is the picture of, Jake?
Looks like Dion.
It's Dion in Colorado. That was his most recent take. Somebody needs some clickbait for his new struggling YouTube channel. And the guy's had way more success than me. I'm a lot younger, so we'll see what the future holds. But that's how you lose people and credibility right there. All right, let's do some predictions. Nebraska, let's start with good old Nebraska, ladies and gentlemen. Nebraska versus Wisconsin in my top 5 games of the weekend. And then the one team that should be on the biggest of all upsets alerts for this weekend. So just think about this, Wisconsin, as mentioned before, they don't have a play caller. Luke Fickell was so sensitive. He's like, why are you even asking that? Because it's a logical question to know who's going to be asking your plays in a press conference or asking who's going to be calling your plays in a press conference. So upset. Backup quarterback, their third stringer actually just transferred. So their starter's out. Their third stringer just transferred, by the way. And so they've got a backup, and I don't know who's after him. I guess somebody. Maybe the water boy. Lost their starting running back to the portal 3 games into the season. They're on their third string running back, who's not bad, by the way. He's just not your typical Wisconsin running back. Okay, they're playing on the road. We're at home. It's senior day. I will tell you right now, I still remember my senior day game versus Colorado like it was yesterday. One of the most emotional days I've ever had. I didn't get tired at all. Big guys like me like colder weather. Heat makes us tired. So I love that it was colder. And I'll be honest with you, I had a whole bunch of in-laws who loved Colorado, and they talked trash all year long. So I was always extra motivated for that game. But my senior game versus Colorado to this day is one of the games where I was the most emotional, and I just felt like I never got tired. And I hope the Huskers play that way on Saturday. Now, one of the things we are going to have to fix, and I talked about this in the middle of the USC game. I said they're running 2 different coverages with their safeties, like in the middle of the game. All right, Tony White. And I quote, "We were playing 2 different coverages out there, and that is never going to work out well. So let's get on the same page." And it was interesting. I interviewed Charlie McBride earlier this week. He flat out said, we would have audibles for the front 7, stunts for the D-line, or checks for the linebackers. He's like, but very rarely would we change the secondary because you can't have a mistake back there. They've got the longest way to try to communicate, farthest distance between players. They have to yell. Okay. And what if you're at home? At USC, it's not going to be crazy loud, but we had a lot of fans there, like 15, 20,000, trying to make noise when USC was on offense. We've got to be on the same page in the secondary. All right, most people know this. This is the only team we played every year since 2012 when we joined, or 11 since we joined the Big Ten. We've only beaten them once. All right, by the way, we don't play Wisconsin the next 2 years after this. I don't know if you knew that. You look at Wisconsin's schedule, we've had some pretty good competition. Alabama. All right, Penn State, Iowa, Oregon, Iowa as well. They lost to USC when they were ranked 13th. So they played a decent schedule. You look at our schedule, it's a little bit tougher than we thought it would be before the season. Indiana's better than we thought. Ohio State's Ohio State. Illinois is better than we thought. Really didn't know what to make of USC. They're still really talented. Not sure if they're going to go to a bowl game at this point, but they're one of the, because they got UCLA and Notre Dame their last 2 games, so they got to win one of those 2. UCLA might be better than their record. So I would say Wisconsin's had the tougher schedule so far. But ours is not quite as easy as I thought it would be, but it certainly has not been brutal. All right. I thought this was interesting. From the press conference from Dana Holgorsen. All right. Or quite a quote from Matt Rule on Dana Holgorsen's on the offense. And I quote, "It's not the plays that do it, it's the players that do it." He's imprinting that to them. For all year, it was like, well, Sat was saying it to them, but all the noise was, well, it's Sat's fault. So the players can sometimes be gosh, if Sat did a better job, end quote. Long story short, saying the players got to play, but basically standing up for Satterfield. And now Holgorsen's coming in saying the same thing, and all of a sudden everyone wants to listen. I think the difference is Holgorsen had better success before he got to Nebraska, and Satterfield did not do a great job while he was here. I do want to commend him, though. You know, a lot of people would have taken their ball and gone home. A lot of people, when I went to practice and I said, hey, Marcus, would not have shaken my hand and looked me in the eye. So I got to commend him because I respect a lot of the way that he's conducted and carried himself amidst a whole lot of controversy. I don't think that saying Dana Holgorsen and Satterfield and all that's exactly equal footing, though. Just my humble opinion. Did mention that the Huskers are dealing with a flu outbreak. That sucks. My response, no excuses. I mean, Wisconsin has more going on than just about any team in the country, almost. So no excuses this Saturday. A couple of interesting stats here. 3 consecutive games in the Nebraska-Wisconsin series have been decided by 7 or fewer points, including last year's game, which was decided by 7 points in overtime. The last time they played at Memorial Stadium in 2022 was a 1-point differential in point margin. All right. 5. Nebraska's group of seniors that will be honored on Saturday includes 5 6-year seniors, super seniors who have spent their entire career at Nebraska, including Bryce Benhart, Ty Robinson, Ramir Johnson, John Bullock, and Javin Wright. And they've combined for 126 career starts in a Husker uniform. All right, what do we got here? All right, Nebraska's last victory was in 2012. Both teams wore alternate uniforms. The Huskers came back from a 17-point deficit on that day to win 30-27. And here are the top 5 stats that stand out to me heading into this Nebraska-Wisconsin game. Number 1, our scoring offenses and defenses are so close. All right, they're giving up an average of 23.9 points per game. I'm sorry, they're scoring an average of 23.9 points per game. Nebraska's at 23.2, incredibly close. Scoring defense, they're giving up 20.9. We're giving up 20.0, 20 points per game. When you look at red zone offense, all right, they're 12th. We're 17th. I think red zone is going to be a big key here because points are going to be in a premium, and who can actually cash in on the few trips that these offenses are probably going to get into the red zone. Penalties. They're 2nd in the Big Ten, 6th in the country. All right, we're 15th in the Big Ten. We're 88th in the country. It is a little challenging when it's 16 on 11 sometimes. I'll just let that be. All right, turnovers gained. They're 14th in the Big Ten, 97th in the country. Nebraska, as of late, has not been doing good in the turnover margin. We were +6 and we were 5-1. We're now -1 since going into the Indiana game. So I'll let you do that basic math. But we're 6th in the Big Ten. All right, as far as that goes. So my thought is this. I am not going to change my score from earlier this week. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, ugly game. I think points are going to be at a premium. And I compared it to the ugly duckling game earlier this week. You know, everybody thinks that little ugly duckling is just butt ugly, but the mama duckling thinks it's beautiful. That game might be just like an ugly duckling, just so ugly for anybody to watch. But if Nebraska wins, that's going to be a beautiful frickin' swan in my eyes. So here's what I'm going to go with. My prediction. I decided not to change it from earlier this week. Wisconsin 10, Nebraska 13. No, not a missed extra point. 2 field goals, Jake. Don't give me that look like that. Go. All right. How much time we got left in this segment here, Jake?
I should probably go pretty quick to get to Evan.
All right, let's do this. Man, that last segment's going to be, I got my top 5 games to go through, and we're going to play some clips as well, but I want to take a break and get to Evan Bland. He'll be joining us when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere.
Mulberry Barbecue is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements. We fix basements.
At F Foundation Repair, we've been fixing basements for over 30 years. We're your local foundation repair experts. Our warranties stay here. Our people work here. You can trust us to take care of your home. Go to WeFixBasements.com to learn more.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hey, it's Chad with Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the #1 selling complete post-workout product, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out, exercises, or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today, try a free sample, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
You've seen them come and go. Franchise testosterone clinics that pop up and then whoosh, they're gone. These franchise clinics quickly find out it's not easy to compete with Limitless Male. Limitless is locally owned and operated with a flawless protocol that has elevated them to be the best in men's testosterone replacement and sexual performance. By adding GLP-1s, our patients are losing weight in a healthy way. To feel your optimal best, schedule a free consult at limitlessmale.com.
As you're gearing up for Christmas, it's time to head to Tailored Life in Bennett to get ready with local shopping. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of Christmas trees in all different colors. Plus, many other fall and winter holiday items and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
You've seen them come and go. Franchise testosterone clinics that pop up and then whoosh, they're gone. These franchise clinics quickly find out it's not easy to compete with Limitless Male. Limitless is locally owned and operated with a flawless protocol that has elevated them to be the best in men's testosterone replacement and sexual performance. By adding GLP-1s, our patients are losing weight in a healthy way. To feel your optimal best, schedule a free consult at limitlessmale.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. This segment of the Adam Carriker Show is brought to you by our good friends of Mulberry Barbecue at 11th and Cornhusker. Open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue, frickin' nachos, a full slab of delicious ribs, a half-smoked chicken, and much more. Never fails. I get hungry talking about this each and every day. How could you not? They have incredible sides. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, ladies and gentlemen, located at 11th and Cornhusker. Now I want to bring on our guest, the man who writes about football, baseball, sports, covering Nebraska sports, Mr. Evan Bland. How you doing, my friend?
Adam, doing well. How's it going today?
I'm good. And the question of the day, when is it okay to start putting up Christmas decorations and listening to Christmas music? Evan, you are the foremost authority on this as of about 5 seconds ago. So what say you?
This is an ongoing, let's call it dialogue I have with my wife. I don't know if you'd call it old school, but I'm the guy who, like, the day after Thanksgiving, like, let's do it, right? Like, let's go all in at that point. But I don't know. I think Thanksgiving gets overlooked. So instead of being a Christmas curmudgeon, I like to consider myself a Thanksgiving defender. So let's give Turkey Day its due. Let's let it have its time in the sun, so to speak. And then I'm all about Christmas, come Black Friday and beyond.
That is, dude, if you were a coach, that would be the quote everybody would use for the headline. Christmas, not a Christmas curmudgeon, I'm a Thanksgiving defender. That is the headline quote from this interview. It doesn't get any better from there. What are the people saying? You got anything real quick? What are the people saying, Jake?
Yeah, it continues to be a lot of Black Friday seems to be the idea for a lot of people.
Okay.
But yeah, battling between Halloween and Thanksgiving to hold off to get to Christmas.
So I mentioned Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. One last question about this, and then we'll get to some Husker sports here, Evan. Nebraska plays on Black Friday every year. Now, it's a night game or an evening game this year, but most of the time it's like 11 a.m. Are you not busy on Black Friday all day, each and every year? How do you help decorate the house?
Well, my family will hold off an extra day. So, they might turn on a Christmas movie or something after the Husker game on Friday. But then that weekend for me, we get the tree on a Saturday or Sunday and decorate and do all of that. So they push it back a day or two for me, but that's just how it goes. That's how they've known it. So, we're only giving up 24 hours or so.
Well, they push it back for you and they ignore me and I get outnumbered, and we've already got an ugly Garfield kitten thing up in our house with a Santa hat on. So it is what it is. All right, man, Wisconsin, Nebraska, what sticks out the most to you heading into this Nebraska-Wisconsin game? If somebody's didn't know anything about Nebraska or Wisconsin football and they're getting ready to play and they find out and they want to know one thing, what would be the biggest thing that sticks out to you about this game?
I think for the casual observer, it's, hey, both of these teams have new offensive coordinators as of, less than 2 weeks ago each. That's a pretty rare thing. And you think about the 2022 game in Lincoln, that was a battle of interim head coaches. So I guess it's not entirely foreign to this series, but there's a fascination there, right? You don't know how much even Nebraska's attack's going to look with an extra week under Dana Holgerson. You don't even know who's calling the plays for Wisconsin and how much maybe they decide to go back to their smash mouth roots, running the ball, or how much they continue to use what they have done. So I think that's probably the the general part of it. But then just the stakes too. I mean, it's I think anytime you're watching a game where one team has dominated the rivalry and you see the other team's home and they're favored by a little bit, like I think you tune in and say, hey, this could be a special moment. This could be one of those things where real genuine joy and jubilation could come out of the outcome if it goes Nebraska's way. And you know, Wisconsin's fighting for some things too. They have a long bowl streak that they're trying to protect, whereas Nebraska's trying to end their drought. But I just think the stakes, the uncertainty, like if this were an algebra equation, like we wouldn't have enough information to solve for X at this point. Like you have a little bit of it, but you don't really know how it's all going to shake out. And so I think that level of uncertainty is rare for some of these mid-November games, and so I think that would add to it as well.
We're talking Christmas curmudgeons and algebra on the phone with Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. All right, man. So talk to me about that. We've actually dubbed Wisconsin's offensive coordinator Casper because he may or may not exist. But here's the deal. Do you think that's a big advantage for Nebraska or not? Where Dana Holgerson is the guy calling our plays, but he's also relatively brand freaking new. And then we don't really know anything about Casper over there for Wisconsin. Do you see that as a big advantage for Nebraska, small, or not at all?
Well, I think you can probably speak to it as well as anyone, Adam, like how hard it is to overhaul your offense in the span of a week or less. Like, it's not like Wisconsin's going to come out and I think do anything radically different from what we've seen, much like Nebraska didn't do anything radically different against USC, even though Dana Holgerson and his background as a coach and the air raid is quite a bit different from what Nebraska had done. Like at some point you have to recognize this is what these guys have been doing. This is what they're comfortable with. Ideally, this is a scheme that's suited to the personnel that you have. And so, I mean, yeah, if you're USC a week ago, if you're Luke Fickell now, I suppose you can fire up some West Virginia tape or some Houston tape and maybe find some tendencies there. But I think you'll probably find more value in still looking back at what Nebraska's done this year. Conversely, with Wisconsin, I don't know that it really makes any difference because you look at their coaching staff, and they talked about it in their press conference up in Madison. There's nobody there that has any track record of calling plays offensively. I mean, Fickell kind of made the joke that he did it and, called plays for middle school and high school and that sort of thing. But like, you're not going to be kind of conjuring up that tape at this point. So I don't know that even if there was a name, that there was all that much help that you'd be able to find from that. I think you look at the personnel that they have. Probably the biggest question mark is how healthy are their receivers with Will Pauling and down the line. I mean, that was something even their local beat reporters up there aren't sure about because they spent so much time this week with the Phil Longo firing. So I think probably if you're Nebraska, the biggest challenge has been, hey, who's going to be out there? And you might not find that out until warmups or into the pregame availability that comes out 2 hours beforehand. But I think generally speaking, these teams are awfully familiar with each other. They've scouted each other, preseason. And so there's going to be some tweaks. You might see some personnel movement, but generally I think both teams kind of know what the other's trying to do.
All right, Evan, what do you see as the biggest key to this game, and what is your official score prediction?
I think for Nebraska, this has to be a good game for the Black Shirts. I mean, they've been up and down. We've seen them when they have dominated, like the first half at Colorado or the second half at Purdue. We've seen moments when they just haven't swarmed as much, and the tackling's been a little bit messy, where the takeaways haven't been there as much. So like this, to me, is a game where that side of the ball needs to bail out the rest. And we don't really know from week to week what to expect on special teams. I think the offense, if you can set them up on a short field once or twice, that could make a big difference. But this feels like a game where you need Ty Robinson to ball out. You need John Bullock to do something. You need, your veteran secondary to run the same defensive plays and to, be solid on the back end. So I think that's probably what it is for Nebraska. And quite honestly, it's what it is for Wisconsin. I mean, that's the defense has been there constant this year, and they have a ton of confidence coming off of holding Oregon to 16 points at home. So I think they're feeling pretty good. They're relatively healthy as well this late in the year. So to me, it feels like a game where it's like a race to 17 points maybe, and it comes down to either a bust or a key turnover or maybe a special teams play. But there's really nothing here that would have you believe this will be anything other than what Matt Rule said, which is it'll probably come down to the final drive, one way or the other. Someone has to make a play. I think it absolutely could be Nebraska, but just objectively, when you look at the series history here and the run that Wisconsin's been on, it's hard to pick Nebraska to snap that until it happens. So I would say I think Wisconsin wins by a field goal and like a 17-14 type of game. But absolutely, it could go the other way. And if Nebraska were to win, it'd be one of their most significant wins probably in the last 8 or 9 seasons.
All right, man. Last question and the biggest, most important question of the day. All right, our kids play on the same, 8U rec baseball team. What is your boy doing? He's got pitching lessons? Has he got hitting lessons? You got him doing 3 a days. What's going on? How are we getting ready for next baseball season here, Evan? What's on the docket here?
Well, we're giving the arm a little bit of rest. We try to limber him up somewhat here. Right now it's basketball season, so he's a lefty, so he's using that arm to shoot right now, and got to keep that athleticism, that well-rounded all-sport Midwest athlete thing going on. So he'll be ready for baseball season when it comes around. And probably my proudest moment as a parent was he was upset that both the Yankees and the Dodgers were in the World Series because he didn't care for either team. So at that point, I knew I'd already done my job, and anything he does on the field is a bonus.
I like the well-rounded athlete as well. All right, Evan, I appreciate you taking the time for joining me. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Adam. Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
The McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Leicester City opens up the action against Chelsea at 6:30 a.m., followed by Fulham taking on Wolves at 9 a.m. To cap off the Saturday action, Man City will face off against Tottenham at 11:30 a.m. On Sunday, Liverpool will play Southampton at 8 a.m., followed by Ipswich Town taking on Man United. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Transform your view with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything while keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116. Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. I'm getting ready to talk about my top 5 college football games of the weekend that do not include Nebraska, Wisconsin, because that's always the Super Bowl every weekend, the Nebraska game. And my biggest upset alert game as well. While I was doing so, I see that Tennessee's playing UTEP. Alabama just played Mercer. Nothing like having 3 bye weeks if you're in the SEC. All right, let's start off with the Deion Sanders clip and what Coach Prime had to say about how he views recruiting high school kids.
Just say we get 25 high school players. How many is going to play that freshman year at the most? Let's say 4 or 5, right? And so now you got 20 guys redshirted. So when you go through that spring with that 20 guys redshirted, how many are you going to retain after that spring? Or how many are going to jump in the portal on you? Let's just do it. If any one of you going to go statistically and try to calculate this, I already done it. So it's going to be how many? Half. Okay, why don't I just focus on 10 guys that can see when we grab a freshman, we expect that guy to play. We're not looking at, hey, man, we can just redshirt you, develop you. No. We're looking for you to come in and play some football. I don't give a darn if it's a walk-on, if it's a Cash Cleveland. We expect you to play. So our approach is somewhat different, heavily scrutinized, heavily criticized, but we know what we're doing. So if anybody ever did the homework and the statistics of these young men, that people have a class that they say is the number one class in the nation, then 5 of those guys play or 4 of those guys play, then the rest go through the spring, then they jump in the portal. Give me those numbers. Don't give me the numbers of where you rank nationally recruiting, because it's like an NFL team. You always say who won the draft. Then the team gets killed all year. You don't say nothing else about it. Who won the draft last year in the NFL? Nobody care right now, right? Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want you to know that I have 2 major takeaways. 1, Jake and I are not cash cleavers. Just want to clear that up for everybody out there. Number 2, I'm not knocking what Deion's saying. I would not personally take this approach. Through 2 years, his approach seems to be working better than Matt Rule's, so to speak. And I'm not trying to knock Matt Rule here on a Friday before the Wisconsin game when I think we're going to get bowl eligible. I simply had not heard him talk out loud about this yet and explain why he doesn't look at high school kids. I kind of had an idea, like he doesn't really want to develop kids. He wants kids to show up and be ready to go. I kind of had that idea, but I never heard him actually talk about it. Now, maybe he had, but I hadn't heard it, so there it is. Basically, he doesn't want to develop. He wants you to show up and be ready to go. Now, my question is this. It's worked better through 2 years, okay, than some of the other models, including what Matt Rule's trying to do here. But my question is, what happens next year when Shedeur leaves and Travis leaves? And you bring in 89 more transfer players, which, by the way, is what he's done through 2 years. What's going to happen? How does this work long term? All I know is you can criticize what's going on with Matt Rule so far, which I've voiced my opinion, trust me. But he's trying to build something sustainable. Which one of these is more sustainable? Look at Florida State. They built through the transfer portal. They went undefeated. Now they're basically defeated with 1 win, and they probably ain't going to win again. Too much volatility. I'm curious to see how the long-term model of Matt Rule works out, year 3, year 4, year 5, versus Deion when he's going through his 190,000th player. And by the way, the players that he walked in the door with, Shedeur and Travis Hunter, are gone. Congrats to them on a great year so far. I've talked about them to the point where people get upset with me that I talk about Colorado so much, but I just hadn't heard him say anything, and I want to see how this looks 2 years from now. All right, let's talk about I just want to dive into the devaluation of the regular season in college football, but that is a topic for another day. So let's talk about the devaluation of conference freaking championship games. Did you ever envision that would happen? By the way, it's been established. Black Friday. Black Friday is when it's okay to start doing Christmas stuff. Now, I want to know, are you folks out there saying, are you walking the walk? Or are you just talking the talk? Because I will admit it's going to be Wednesday of next week for my family because I've been outnumbered again, but that's okay. That's all right. The Huskers play on Friday. I don't get to get bumped to Saturday, but it's all good. I'm going to stare at that weird blow-up Garfield kitten cat thing as I go home again, but it's okay. It's actually kind of cute. But let's listen to Lane Kiffin. He's talking about the devaluation of conference championship games and why coaches may not even want to play in it. And if you think about it, like if Alabama plays Texas, I talked about this earlier this week. Let's say Alabama loses. They would have 3 losses. Are they then out of the playoff? How does that work? They could have sat at home and gotten in. All right, also, even if they get in, now you didn't have a bye week that everybody else had. Now you might have injured a player. Now you're beat up. Let's just listen to what Mr. Lane Kiffin had to say.
Here's Lane at his press conference yesterday talking about the SEC championship game.
You know, it's changed. The conference championship, could have a big impact both ways for people. So I've talked to other coaches, so I'll just kind of give you the feeling from some other coaches that, they don't want to be in it. And, the risk to get a bye, the reward to get a bye versus the risk to get knocked out completely. I mean, that's a really big risk, just to get a bye. So I think it's ended up being a very unique situation of all, postseason sports, the way that system's set up there and how you could go to that and get knocked out. And if you don't go, you're in.
Questions?
I'm not a big gambler, but that's the kind of one of them Vegas, like poker table thing. Like, that's all in. And you're going all in. And you're going all in the best conference in football. So you got to play somebody great too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not just if you're in or you're out. It's if you are still in and you lose everything I just mentioned. Now you didn't have a bye week. Of course, the SEC already has 3 bye weeks, if you know what I'm talking about. Why do they need a 4th? But I digress. My point is now you're beat up. Now maybe somebody got hurt. Conference championship games, it's going to change. Is Josh Pate, that clip ready? We're going to play a clip from Josh Pate that I've been talking about for a long time, and it might happen sooner than I thought. I thought we had 3, 4, 5 years. It may happen sooner than later because of what Lane Kiffin's saying. By the way, I've never heard him actually try to be guarded with his words. That was weird for me. It's like he was trying to be so careful. I'm not used to that from him, but I loved that he's the one coach that will speak about it. One day, the Big Ten and SEC are going to say, see you later, sayonara, nice to know you. They're going to break off, do their own thing. It's going to turn into the AFC, NFC with divisions, and the divisions leading to the SEC champ. Let's call it the AFC playing the Big Ten, the NFC champ in a Super Bowl one day. And if you think I'm crazy, listen to what Josh Pate has to say.
To maintain the sanctity and value of your conference championship game, I think in the future, the SEC and the Big Ten will both have built-in conference tournaments, maybe semifinal and final, or quarterfinal, semifinal, final, no different than the AFC and the NFC look at the end of the NFL season. And then I pump out my champion and you pump out your champion, and then we have a playoff, or maybe that format is baked into the playoff structure, and those games happen at the neutral sites that the playoff games would already happen at. I'm just telling you, the alternative is non-negotiable. They cannot get rid of those conference championship games. They don't want to. They couldn't if they did want to. So that's off the table. So you got one choice and one choice only, and that is make sure people care about winning the conference title, and no one's talking about the risk not being worth it.
So they can't get rid of the conference championship games because there's millions and millions of dollars tied up in those things. This is going to be talked about way more in the offseason as December hits, as well as the playoffs going on, as the conference championship games are going on. But college football is not even close to being done. Change. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the top 5, in my opinion anyways, college football games of the weekend. We're going to start off with Indiana versus Ohio State. Ohio State, 11.5-point favorite. Indiana, amazing turnaround. We all know it. All right. Previous 4 seasons, they were 9-27 overall. They've won more games this year, 10-0, than they had in the previous 4 seasons combined. All right, they were 3-24 in the Big Ten. They're 6-0 so far this year in the Big Ten. They have the largest points per game margin. They beat their opponents by more points than anybody else in the country at 30-plus points per game. Ole Miss, number 2, 27.8. Ohio State, 27.5. Then Notre Dame and Texas follow suit. All right, when you start to compare these teams, Indiana and Ohio State. All right, Ohio State's offense, they score 38 points per game. Indiana gives up 14 points. Ohio State, 451 yards of offense a game. Indiana, almost 200 less yards. They're actually better on defense than most people realize. The Hoosier Daddies, 255.5 yards per game is what they give up. Ohio State, known for big plays, 49 plays of 20-plus yards or more, and they score 97% of the time when they get into the red zone. You look at Indiana's offense here, just a smidge. They're averaging 44 points per game. Ohio State's defense only giving up 10, number 1 in the country. Although Oregon had something to say about that a few weeks back. I'm curious to see what happens if those two teams play again. Indiana averaging 453 total yards per game. Ohio State giving up less than 200 yards, less than that, 250.8. All right. The quarterback play has been huge. Will Howard was a gigantic question mark coming into the season for Ohio State. He's completing 73% of his passes and has almost a 5-to-1 touchdown to INT ratio. Curtis Rourke, the number 2 rated passer in America, number 1 of the Big Ten, completing 72% of his passes. His touchdown to INT ratio is greater than 5-to-1, 21 touchdown passes to 4 INTs. I'm going to take Ohio State to win, but I'm going to take Indiana to cover. Spread's 10.5. I think Indiana can keep it within a touchdown. I am looking forward to that game. Next up, the 2 most dangerous teams in America, Ole Miss and, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Florida, who's fighting for a bowl game. If we just went purely based on best teams, regardless of record, I'd have Florida in the top 25, which is asinine to say because they were god-awful to start the season. But they're playing ball. They're playing well. All right, Ole Miss, couple of interesting stats. 2nd in the country in plays at 20-plus yards. Florida, 125th defensively and giving up plays of 120 of 20-plus yards or more. All right, big plays is going to be the difference here. Ole Miss does lead the nation in sacks. I've got Ole Miss beating Florida in a dogfight. All right, let's go on to Oklahoma, Alabama. Oklahoma's offense, 91st in the country. Alabama's defense has actually vastly improved since earlier in the year. They're 10th in America now. I wonder if there's an identity found for Bama at this point. If so, they're very dangerous. If not, they're just as unreliable as they've been all year when they look like the best team in America and then a team that's still trying to figure themselves out in the middle of spring ball. 2 of the top 5 brands in the entire country. Bama's great at forcing turnovers. Oklahoma does have a good defense, number 18 rush defense in the country. Alabama's strength is their rush offense with Jalen Milroe, strength versus strength. All right, I'm going to get through my last couple picks real quick. I'm going to take, Alabama. I'm going to take them with the spread too. BYU and Arizona State in a Big 12 game? What the? BYU. I think they've run out of gas. I'm taking Arizona State, who's ranked 21st in the country, to beat the number 14 team in the country, BYU. Army, undefeated no longer after this Saturday. Notre Dame, beating up on them Service Academy teams. I got them winning, and watch Kansas and Colorado, ladies and gentlemen. That's my upset game to watch. I'm actually rooting for Colorado to get in. No other Big 12 team deserves to even be watched in this thing. Colorado makes it interesting. Kansas, though, they're playing like a top 25 team despite being 4-6. Listen to this. 2 weeks ago, beat undefeated Iowa State at the time. Last week, beat undefeated BYU in Provo. Watch out for this game. I got Kansas winning, but my upset meter is at a 9.5 out of 10. Until next time, go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bug.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift